Yeah, what's everyone saying? Big up all the grafters out there. Big up all the men and the women that get out there and actually work, earn a wage, earn a living, all that kind of stuff, Big up the real working man. Big up to the real Danny G, a hard grafter. Big up to JDP, a hard grafter. Big up to Amy the Problem Child, a hard grafter. And big up to young Dimmy Mushroom, a hard grafter. Do you know what I mean? The backbone of this country. So, yeah, what's happened on YouTube? Absolutely sweet F-all. Which is going to be somewhat damaging to my YouTube peers, isn't it? Finding out that I've got nothing to talk about. Because what happens, they normally hear it from me, and then they go and recycle what I say, normally later on in their videos. You know what I mean? It's, alright, being impersonated is flattering. They done it with Bruce Lee, they done it with Elvis Presley, you know what I mean? So I shouldn't look at it as, like that. I should look at it as a positive, I am the innovator, I am the originator. You normally find, when I've released a video, within a few hours, Stun Gun Paddy, what's everyone saying? Hello guys, and Andrew going, hello me lovelies, and Narrative Destroyer. Hello people. Have you noticed all the people that steal my videos, steal my ideas, recycle what I talk about? They're all unemployed. Stun Gun Paddy, Narrative, Andrew Goyne, the Jizness. They're all unemployed. Not only that, they've all got disabilities. They're all on fucking disability benefits. You gotta make this shit up. Jesus Christ, where do we find them? For fuck's sake. Yeah, so, big up to everyone that enjoyed my last video about the Criminal Connection podcast. I thought it was rather good myself. I just wished that channel had started way back. Imagine having some of the legends in the game, like Lenny McLean, or Roy Pretty Boy Shaw, or the Ticking Time Bomb, when these men were around, talking on a podcast to Terry Stone, actor, who's been in Rise of the Foot Soldier, playing Tony Tucker, one of the Essex boys, one of the infamous Essex boys, and that's been his best role to date, you know what I mean? Oh, mate, not doing weights until Friday, mate. Need my body to recover. The muscles, the DOMs, you know what I mean? Triceps, biceps, lower back, traps, delts, rhomboids, that, mate, quads, hamstrings, calves, all aching, do you know what I mean? Even my feet, you know what I mean? It's too much work, mate, too much. Working in this kind of weather, and then, doing these, hard workouts is just taking it all out of me, mush, but... yeah, so what has happened on YouTube? Let's go over what's happened on YouTube. Mr. Paddy Pants Down and Emma, what they've been up to? Well, they've been talking about the tape recordings, the murders, Tony, the letter, don't forget, the letter was passed on from the little ginger wanker, tumble dryer, to another confidant, yeah, and then, the letter, don't forget the letter. And don't forget, they also, Mr. Pants Down had on, earlier in the week, the shadow bacon, from the comfort of his parents' kitchen, I believe he was, going on about his next trip to Thailand. But he's not there to see monuments, scenery, the culture, ladies and gentlemen. He's there to get off his tits, become a bit seedy, become a bit, how can we say, overzealous. And just maul any female or any lady boy he can get his hands on. Swallow some pills and sniff some coke and just jug loads of fucking alcohol down his fucking flabby gut. Do you know what I'm saying? It's shocking. And then we got Brett May sat in his car, new t-shirt on, still looking stupid, still looking overweight, still babbling on about absolutely nobody cares anymore, Brett. You've been exposed as a fraud, a Billy bullshitter. who's only in it for the YouTube shekels. Only in it to line your pockets, mate. You know, that's the facts. That's the facts, mate. I was the first one that called him out on his bullshit. Just like I was the first one to call out Martin on his DH10. Just how I was the first one out to call Pants Down, Sheriff, Scotty G, the Three Musketeers, you know, on their little GoFundMe get rich quick scheme. You know, food, clothes, you know, drinks, cash, you know. And you see the sheriff. You know why the sheriff got so fat, don't you? Remember when he used to be every day on them lives drinking like 2 litre bottles of pop? Do you remember? Don't matter if it says Diet Coke. My mum's friend, yeah, has got a daughter, and all she used to drink was pop. And guess what? Pop went her belly, mate. And that sheriff, he looks fucking... Mind you, he's always looked terrible. I mean, you know, the lines on the face, the worry... You know, the stress, you know what I mean? I don't know how old he is, but he looks like he's in his 70s. Or 90s, to be honest. You know what I mean? My 95-year-old granddad moves around quicker than him. You see him with his maternity dress. You know what I mean? And that pot belly. Do you know what I mean? When's it due, Sheriff? Jesus Christ, that stomach was ginormous. Pacing around the house he was. You know, like that time, remember when Shadow Bacon, you know, made him look a bit stupid, you know? Oh, it made me look a bit... He was pacing... And you know what? He's been dumped, so what? There's plenty more fish in the sea, mush. Do you know what I'm saying? The doctor has never had no trouble... To tell the truth, I've never had no trouble with the ladies. Do you know what I mean? Because I've been blessed with superior genetics. You know, good looks. You know, an incredible body. Do you know what I mean? The charisma, the charm, you know what I mean? And I just know how to talk to them. I know how to make them feel special. I know how to make them feel $1 million, mate. You've got to know how to charm a lady. You can't go up there getting pissed, you know, slurring out, saying you're the hardest man in your boozer. You're a laughing stock, mush. And I don't feel sorry for him. Do you remember, I don't know, 6 months or so ago when he was going back and forth with me? We found out what a real nasty piece of work he was. And I said karma was going to come and bite him on the backside. And it did. It did, didn't it? You know, he was mocking the deceased. He was openly calling everyone and anyone a bacon. Do you get me? Just because some people fucking sit in a park, mate, you know what I mean? You know, this guy, you see how these people think. And then you see how they think, you know, oh, do you remember the drive-through? Do you remember Doc and his friend at the drive-through? Suck my nuts. Do you think I'll give a rat's ass? Do you know what I mean? Fucking the drive-through. These lot, I've always said they're bacon-obsessed weirdos, mate. They're goofs. They're goofs. He proved he was a nasty piece of work. They've all got bacon on their fucking brain. Him... and the rest of them. You know, I'm not going to name names, but you know what I'm talking about. I've fallen out with a lot of these people. They couldn't go back and forth. They didn't have the social skills to go back and forth. They had to bring out the bacon cart. What about Doc and the drive-through? That means he's an N, you know, he's a... Yeah, you know what? That word that everyone throws around. What about Doc sitting in that park? That means he's a... Kiss my ass, mate. I don't give a shit what this lot think. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Ridicule yourself more. See them on these lives every day arguing about who's a fucking bacon. You see JDP giving a little bit of support to Danny G. Oh, so you condone that? Oh, so that means you accept that? What he done with that girl's okay then? Blah, 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 you know. Do you know what I mean? Big up to JDP. Big up to JDP for doing what he wants when he wants, you know? He ain't a simp. A lot of people come on here simping. Simping like for women or just simping in general, you know what I mean? That like, do you know what I mean? They come on here defending any Tom, Dick or Harry thinking it's going to get their social status raised or something. You know, we call them do-gooders in London. You see that stupid, what's his name? Honest Bobby. Big fucking old goof. Shut up. Who you fucking protecting? Awareness, your fucking pockets, mate, with your coffee link and your PayPal, you big fucking twit. And Video Craig, Another little, you know, this one a daily, that one a daily. Do yourself a fucking daily, mate, because you got fucking just as many skeletons in your closet as them. Do you know what I'm saying? They all come on here. They all watch the innovator, the originator, the only man that brings fresh content to this corner of YouTube. The only man that isn't given enough credit. Stun Gun Paddy, copycat. Narrative Destroyer, copycat. Andragoin, copycat. The Jizness, copycat. The Stupid Stinking Sheriff, copycat. They all copy from the man that does it his way. He walks to the beat of his own drum. He follows his own lead. He doesn't simp for anyone on this corner. You won't find me in anyone's live chat or anyone's comment section bigging them up, you know, trying to, become fake YouTube friends. I'm the real deal, mate. I'm the fucking real deal. You want frauds, you want fakes, you want people with bogus addiction stories or fucking stories that they were in prison and all that shit. You can go elsewhere, or to all these fantasy channels. You want the real shit about a man that's lived a life who was a gangster, a bare knuckle fighter, a boxer, a professional martial artist, 9th Dan, black belt. Do you know what I mean? It's been in hundreds and hundreds of fights, never lost a fight, had the strength of 6, 7, 8 men. Do you know what I mean? The man that used to bench press fucking 700 pounds. 700 pounds. The real deal. The man who could fucking do 1 finger push-ups. The man that's run half marathons, fucking run 100 metres in 9 seconds. You know what I mean? This is not bullshit. I have just been blessed with elite genetics. Some people think, oh, shut up, blowing smoke up your... It's the truth, mate. Yeah, I'm past it now. I'm an old fart. I'll be 40 next year. But fucking I'll try to buy myself a little cigar on the way home from work, yeah? To have with me tea, one of them fine little, a nice little cigar, handmade, you know what I mean? Hand-rolled. What serve me? What fucking said, how old are you, mate? You got any... Excuse me, mate, I've got grey hairs. Got 2 grey hairs here. Can you not see them? I have 2 grey hairs. Fucking what a country. Yet they want us to fight for this country. Yeah? For all these immigrants and fucking all the other scoundrels they bring in, yeah? And yet I can't even buy a fucking cigar when I'm fucking over 25. Jesus Christ, what the fuck? I think things are getting on top of me, mate. Believe that. So yeah, you think about it, people. Think about it. Nothing happens on YouTube. YouTube's dead. It's gone. This corner's gone. Same old faces, same old names, should we say, on the lives. Same old twaddle. Same old make-believe fights. Same old make-believe fight camps. Same old bacon-obsessed weirdos. God bless.